2017 Hot 6 GSL Season 1 Code S Round of 16.
We have 2 players remaining and only one more spot here for them to go on to the round of 8. It is going to be Ryung versus Trap. I think both these guys are looking super solid. It could go either way.
Yeah, it certainly could. I think that it will not be one-sided like we saw in Hero vs. Ryung. We haven't really seen Trap's PvT as of late. But I'm kind of feeling him tonight, Tasus. He's playing some very strong games, 1-2 against Hero with good games there, and pretty much crushed lead off. So I think he could do it.
Ryung has been getting better and better with each of these passing seasons. He has not achieved that glorious moment, winning a GSL Code S, but he's never given up. He's been here since the beginning, guys.
Certainly has.
Trap, I feel, also has been steadily improving. You've got to respect this guy. And I think he's a super well-rounded player. I have no idea how this best of 3 is going to turn out.
By the way, you know what Trap's one of Trap's opening pro matches was?
No, what was it?
Beating Hydra in the GOM TV Avertech Intel Classic.
Oh my God,
PBT
you're right. Yeah.
Destination. Our Hydra left tanks out in the middle of the map.
Don't do that against Trap.
No.
We're going to start this best of 3 out on the map Whirlwind, then Abyssal Reef, and if we do go to a game number 3, it'll be on Cactus Valley.
All right. We'll see what Trap's PBT looks like at the moment. Ryung is going to have to really pull everything together here if he wants another deep finish in the GSL Code S. If I recall correctly, we're just seeding the top 4, so these guys got to get really far if they don't want to go through those hard qualifiers once again.
So much pressure on these guys. It's all going to come down, at least for this week, to this PBT. Anything can happen. So many different cheese threats, so many different standard ways to approach this matchup. Expect anything. And guys, this will be our last best of 3 for tonight as these 2 fight for that round of 8 spot in the GSL Code S. In the bottom right, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings Trap.
in the bottom left, in the red,
TES Gaming Ryung.
Just counting moles on these guys. Trap with more moles than Ryung. Are you a very moley man?
I don't think so.
Yeah. I am very moldy. I have a lot
You're
of
like
moles.
a holy moly guy.
Yeah. I have a lot of moles. And in fact, one day I was like, wait a minute. I think I have more moles
Artosis
than I used to have.
2017. I have a lot of moles.
Yeah. Well, here, I'm going to teach you something.
Yeah.
So once upon a time, I was sitting there and I was like, God, I think I've gotten more moles as I've gotten older. And I'm like, so I looked it up. I Googled it, Tasis.
Yeah.
With this, it's this cool thing where you type things in and it can tell you answers. And apparently, if you get more moles as you get older, it's like a good thing. It's like means you're healthier or something.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's like rings on a tree inside the stump.
I don't know if it's like that, but it's like something. Anyways, I chose to believe that, and I've never looked again. So I'm sure there's plenty of internet doctors who would tweet at me, that's not true at all. That's skin damage.
I think one of the worst things you can do is when you're sick with anything and you go on WebMD and it always gives you that immediate, like, you have a week to live diagnosis. Look, I got a headache over here, and it's like, uh-oh, I have permanent brain damage and I'm going to die.
Yeah. Oh, my.
That's how you become the ultimate hypochondriac, reading WebMD. And of course, they if you sign up for the site, they have like emails they send you, like 7 things that I'm like, look, you guys are just making me crazy here.
Yeah.
You guys are turning me into the sickest hypochondriac ever.
As soon as I see anything that's like 7 things or 11 things or the 15 top or whatever.
Top 11.
That is the most garbage. Don't ever click on anything like that. Ever. That is like the worst clickbaity.
It's like 15 celebrities who used to be skinny, and I'm like, oh, this is like the worst kind of content.
God, it really is. It's like just everything tries to pull your attention in every direction.
It is so low effort to even make that stuff. Or they'll have like on these certain sites, it's like 15 states, there are 15 cities that suck.
Yeah.
But then you'll see someone in the same cities on the same site as like 15 places that are awesome.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is just totally meaningless.
No, all of this stuff is just to try to grab attention and pull you over there to get ad revenue. It's really, it's a sad state that the human race is in with the internet, man. We need to just get rid of the internet except for Battle.net. That's the only thing we need.
That's right. And watching streams.
Yeah, but only esports streams.
That's right.
These variety streamers, no.
No. All right, the Reaper does come in here now, throws down a mine. Looks like he might be able to get, yes, he does get that one probe over there. Two Hellions now going into the main. Ryung could come in here with a lot of damage to start things off.
Yeah. Oh, the pylon block barely doesn't go off. Probe count starting to fall here. 3 killed, 4.
I think he's going to get one more shot off, but he does not get that last kill.
Okay, that was blocked reasonably well, considering.
Yeah, that's true. I thought he was actually going to get a lot more.
Yeah. You know, when you go for such a quick Nexus, if they kill a bunch of probes, you are suddenly way far behind. Ooh, he's actually has 2 not mining right now. That's kind of rough.
Yeah, in the back, bottom right side of the main there.
But an Oracle is on the way, so... You know, that's like a very strong defensive unit or a harassment unit. I guess we just see what he ends up doing with it here. I'm sure he'll fly across and see if he can get some damage done, but a Widow Mine is popping out. Some turrets are being made. I'm not sure how much damage he can get done.
So the Marines just going to chase that back there. Oracle parked over here. I think Trap's kind of fallen off a little bit here at Tosis.
Yes.
We have idle probes.
Those 2
of them.
probes are...
And then we had seen this Oracle that's just not being used at all. I know he might have that up there to spot. But I don't think right now, you know what I mean?
That's a good point. Like, a drop could try to come way in through that side.
And
that's
I guess
like
if that happens, like he could stop it. But I'm under the impression that, and see, he loses the Zealot here.
Huh.
You ever had that moment where you're playing StarCraft and you're like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Like, I'm having a brain fart here.
Yeah.
I feel like Trap might be having that here.
Every day, Tasteless. I know this feeling so well.
Yeah.
Where all my stuff isn't doing what it's supposed to. Probes aren't mining. I can't find my Oracle. I have to hit my all-unit hotkey, which I have on delete.
What was that like?
Or backspace?
That Greek tragedy about the guy who like angered the gods, so he was strapped onto the top of a rock on a mountain, and a hawk would come and eat his liver every day. That was like what he was doomed for the rest of time, was to wake up and that sucks.
Well, I think his name was Trap.
Yeah.
Trappius Maximus.
Trappius Maximus. Sometimes it's Tostius Maximus. That's our Tosis every day on the ladder right now.
But that was very rough. The Oracle ended up doing basically nothing.
He wasn't active with it early. Okay, so we saw 2 idle probes, an inactive Oracle that was then lost later on. Now, we can't be too hard on him for going into a Widow Mine. That's like, you just don't know until it's too late. And then he lost that Zealot. So Trap seems to be... These are all bad signs, guys. Doesn't mean he's going to lose. Doesn't mean he's at the worst disadvantage ever. But it's usually just a red flags everywhere. When you see somebody who's got idle probes in a StarCraft 2 match like this one, it does not bode well.
Losing an early Oracle it's pretty bad. Like, you really need that thing to stay out. This is a great catch, though. Like, putting some damage on that medevac is fantastic. And this slowed down the push. Now he's going to have Glaives and +1 done when this first attack hits. If he hadn't caught that right there, it hits before +1 and Glaives, and it's a completely different type of defense.
Warp gates are coming in now, so he should have a little bit more girth to his army, you know, if the fighting does actually begin to pick up. But Ryung is not backing down. He's now going to have 4 medevacs total. I'm sorry, I thought there'd be a 4th one in there. I see 3. But he's going to be able to push in, and Protoss is going to have to be careful.
He's got a good amount of adepts at this point. I'm not sure exactly where they're standing. Maybe they're... Okay, there they are.
They're in a kind of an odd corner here.
Yeah, that's
But this corner is not going to allow them to optimize their damage, so this is really, really bad. The Phoenixes are coming in here, but how many adepts have already been picked off? He's picking up a few units here, but the Phoenixes haven't actually killed off these medevacs, so this infantry army is just doing too much damage. Whoa! Whoa! He's bopping them.
Yeah. Well, this is
crazy.
This is why you can't lose your first Oracle.
Yeah.
The Oracle would have seen where this was coming. He could have drawn together his mothership core for an overcharge, as well as all of his adepts, but instead he had no idea until it was there. All of his units were out of position. He had more than enough to just make Ryung turn around. Like, Ryung would have just turned around if he brought all of his units to bear. Oh,
and he just hit all those Phoenixes, which means they're going to be gunned down very easily. 2 Phoenixes shot down right away. The rest of the reinforcements are now meeting up. The Zealots right now too slow to actually be optimized. The Adepts, I think, too small in numbers to deal that much damage.
Dude, he's super dead. This is like the worst situation ever. Look at that. Oh my god. The mine's connecting with everything. There's like nothing left here for Trap. And
yeah, looks like Trap's in Trouble Town, boys.
Trouble Town.
Trouble Town. Take me down to Trouble Town.
Well, that's
a song that's playing.
You can hook up a.
They love that song in Trouble Town, Artosis.
you can step on the back of Trap's bike and he can pedal you down there because he is already at the bottom of the hill that leads into Trouble Town.
That's
Population
right.
Trap.
Yeah. No kidding. I just can't believe he did that much damage. I mean, he bopped him so hard.
Dude, he's dead.
Yeah,
Trap is dead. You don't with this unit comp, you literally cannot recover.
Yeah, that's it. Protoss cannot get that critical mass. GG, Ryung. He took out Trap. Look at that. Look at those eyes. The eyes of the killer right now.
He looks like really intense right now. Well, he's picked up a single victory. Look, everything went bad for Trap though. Like that was kind of the defense was okay, but 2 probes on mining. The Oracle sat there for 1,000 years. Then the Oracle just died. Then he didn't see the attack coming because the Oracle died. When that first Oracle dies, you're in so much trouble already. You need it to be scouting where the army is. You need it to be tagging possibly, maybe laying down stasis swords. Any of those things, and the entire game looks different. Instead, he lost the Oracle, and he was just a dead nerd from it.
Something went wrong there in Trap's mind in that last game. He was like not active with his units. He was throwing certain units away. He just seemed really off, and that's not the Trap I'm used to casting. I think Trap is actually generally really solid. But Ryung, I mean, you have any weakness in your, any chink in your armor, Ryung's there to take you out.
That is so true.
This is game number 2 on the map, Abyssal Reef, Trap versus Ryung. In the upper left,
Jin Air Green Wings, Trap.
in the bottom right,
TES Gaming, Ryung.
bringing nerds to Trouble Town.
So bad. Oh my god.
Yeah.
You know what the music that they like most in Trouble Town?
Tell me.
Trubstep.
Trubs. Whoa, Artosis.
Like it's country
I
music.
love casting with you. Trubstep. Yeah.
Trubstep, man.
Well, we're going to see if Trap ends up in Trouble Town this time around.
The Trubstep. I think that Ryung is going to drop the bass literally coming up here.
Okay. Whoa. Oh, Artosis.
Yeah.
You're too fun. You are too fun, my friend.
You're too fun.
We do have a lot of fun casting this stuff, guys.
Yeah.
We really do. I'm worried, though. I am worried for Trap in all seriousness.
It's all just a game to you. I'm like, literally, it is.
It's not just any game, it's a computer game to me. But I'm worried for Trap, man. He did not look that good. Ryung may be that guy that everybody kind of, gives a nod to. Mm-hmm. But he might be in like the Final Four even for this.
Absolutely,
I mean, he looks really good.
He's solid and he's underappreciated, I think, in a lot of ways.
He could end up, if he wins this, he could end up at some point in time having a rematch against Hero too.
Yeah, that's possible. That would be in the finals is the earliest they could meet, being in the same group.
That would be epic.
Yeah, that would be a weird finals. What a world.
That would be the weirdest finals we've had in a while, man.
Yeah, just Ryung in general making it to the finals would be really interesting and weird. But okay, so here's a worry for me for Trap. For Trap, I'm just so nice. This map can be very hard against Terran. There's like a lot of areas that they can kind of push you that are a little bit thin, where like later game, great. I mean, Terran's trying to run through and you have Colossus or Psystorm or something like that in these little chokes, and you can just smash things. But early on, like for instance, you can siege up below that ramp and use Liberators and stuff like that to push into the natural, and it's just like areas that are really hard for Protoss to engage into.
Yeah.
So we might see Trap try to play like a fast, aggressive style. Like this definitely could be Phoenix Adept again. That's like it's a good choice for this map overall, just so that
I think it's
you can kind of meet these difficult to deal with pushes out on the middle.
You can contest it.
Yeah,
you've got the muscle when you get a unit comp like that for sure.
Yeah. Whereas if you go for like Blink on this map and they make like a couple siege chinks and just push you, you're like, oh
no,
this is not going to go well.
All right. Well, let's see what happens. I feel like if Ryung just continues to play like a really solid game, he's going to be fine.
Yeah.
Trap, this is why you have a best of 3, because if you completely screw up in one game, it's not totally over. But he's definitely going to have to step it up from the way he played in Game 1. That was actually the worst play that we've seen in the round of 16 out of all the games, I think. That game specifically was like, whoa, are you supposed to be here?
There was, it was definitely a rough one. Having no intel. Now, he didn't lose the Oracle this time. There was some interestingly placed Spider Mines. That's a pretty common spot, but there's just kind of a random one out, like Alive would put down.
Well, it's funny because initially in the meta, it's like everybody would hide the Widow Mines above the gas or above the command center, but now it seems like people hide them in just really weird spots because sometimes you just strike gold.
Yeah, because like as your Oracle approaches certain areas, sometimes you'll look at it and look for Widow Mine little pot marks, but if it's a spot like that right there, that's not somewhere you'd really look at if you can't babysit the Oracle the whole time, you have to be back at your base doing other things. You can't just look at the ground for these little marks where Widow Mines are the whole time, you know? What I'm saying?
I hear you, man.
I hear you, brother.
I hear you, brosif. Well, I would like this to go to Game 3. For selfish reasons. I want to see more games from Ryung here. Trap's also, of course, a great player, but I don't know, man.
Well, I'm a super fan of Trap's PvP and PvZ.
Yeah.
But his PvT, I would say in general, has been his weaker matchup out of them.
PvT out of all the matchups in StarCraft 2, this is kind of a funny matchup. Because a lot of times it's just your two armies kind of colliding with each other, and roles can actually change a lot, you know?
Yeah, definitely in different portions of the game, you have now he's up to this amount of units, and now he's the aggressor. Now, there's ghosts out. You can no longer pressure. You have to pull back a little bit.
It's kind of different from, like, for instance, a TVZ where traditionally the Terran's trying to push the whole game.
Yeah.
And Zerg's just kind of shutting it down. And eventually, until the Terran has to expand far enough and the Zerg kills it. But, like, it's a matchup that the momentum changes each time. There's different unit comps, a lot of different openers you can do, a bunch of wonky cheeses that you can do to each other.
Yeah.
And I feel like it suits a certain type of player.
It certainly does. You're right about that.
I mean, maybe. Oh, that's too bad. He didn't see it.
Oh, that could make it a little bit tough. Don't know where his units are all placed. Okay, his Phoenixes are actually waiting right there, so this could be a little bit tough for Ryung as well if he flies into those.
But Ryung might not. We'll see. Does he scan or anything before he goes in there?
I think what he'll do is hold these off until his other push gets a little bit closer, and then see which one doesn't get...
he's moving. He's moving it.
That means that drop could do so well.
I think that Trap might look at the license plate on those medevacs and see, wait a minute, those medevacs are from Trouble Town.
The Trouble Express.
So that's right.
Time to drop the base.
Okay, here we go. He's dropping right now. And there's sort of vision over here, although I don't know if Trap sees it fully.
Yeah, I think
oh my God!
Well, that's huge right there. Those warpins won't work at all.
He was going for the pylon for a second, but really nicely handled. Is that Nartosis pylon? I think he could have actually killed it. Oh my God, look at this man. This man is a monster.
He is destroying absolutely everything. Trap is in so much trouble. It's ridiculous. He still has his secondary army out outside the third base as well, so even if this gets held off, look at this push coming up. Those Widow Mines. Okay, he might actually hold on to this all right.
Oh, my God. Okay, he barely has enough of depths over there, but, I mean, Ryung is really abusing this Protoss, man. Trap is
Luckily, the secondary attack was like really held.
Also, Glaive's just finished, so Protoss is going to have a lot more stability if these fights continue onward.
Now, Ryung doesn't have a third. He killed a lot of probes there, but
look at this. Looks like Byun's playing right now.
I know, yeah.
He's like just killing everything.
Third base going to be coming up for Ryung now, so I mean that's obviously very good for him. Here's the thing that I see that's troublesome for Trap.
Yeah.
He's getting Blink and +1 armor. I mean, those are both good upgrades and everything, but we see no splash. And if this game goes a little bit longer, you can't trade with gateway units against bio units when you're behind.
You don't have enough damage output to combat Marine Marauder. There really isn't anything that attacks faster than Stim Marines, guys.
No.
And the thing is, the Marines always have good range, so it's like everything is dealing damage at once, while your Immortal's like doing a crab walk to get to like the side of a fight. The Marines have already shot many times. Uh-oh. Dude, he just keeps... I mean, it's like he's just not on top of his units. I hate to be so critical, but... Uh-oh. He's backing up.
Yeah, he's looking for an
liberation zones.
He does have the double Immortals, so maybe feeling like he can get something done here. But obviously not under those Liberators.
Meanwhile, an Adept drop coming in here towards the main.
Okay, this is a nice move. Nothing here at all to defend.
Whoa, and a big warping along with that. I really like this because Terran actually is pushed out across the map.
Wow, he's going to kill a lot of SCVs right now. And what will Ryung do with his main army out there? He's still trying to push forward, but Trap is doing a great job of slowing him down while he gets damage done here. 16 SCVs falling already.
Yeah, so many workers have been killed, and there's enough Adepts that this is not finished at all. He can keep doing this. And I don't think Terran really was able to come all the way across the map and push or do any damage. So that's a great play there by Trap.
Yeah, look at that. He came in, tagged the army that was out there again, and the army just turns around. That gives Trap some sort of map control right now, and it's 3 base versus 3 base. He's getting into Psystorm, adding more Immortals. So he's getting into that splash damage we were talking about. This is really important for Trap.
More warp-ins occurring.
Oh, good force fields right there. Going to be able to pick off a decent amount, but the Liberators will push him back.
These Adepts are still going ham inside the Terran's base.
Yeah.
Ryung may be out of gas here.
Yeah, out of minerals as well.
Yeah, look, I mean, there's so many SCVs have been picked off. The actual worker count right now is 33 to 68. I mean, it's going to be so hard to recover. I can't imagine a game where Protoss does not just muster up a large army and come over here and smash Ryung.
You would definitely think so. I think that Ryung's chance here is a massive Liberator push right up into the natural. Like, I think that's how it goes here for him. Ooh, he gets the Warp Prism, so that's really good. So this is where he's got to get all of his units together. He's got to do a big push. I guess he could go towards the third base or up that little ramp at the natural, but, like, he needs to do something really strong. The thing is, this is great zoning by Trap. He's utilizing some of the terrain here, some of the high ground. He's got those Psystorms. You can't just stem through these little chokes when Protoss gets splashed.
Yeah, that's right. It's pretty tricky to deal with. It looks like we might have that full-on engage here. Terran stimming. He wants to get into a better location to try to fight this. Protoss now below. Storm shoot him down. Not bad. Not bad at all.
Yeah,
Liberation
really
zones are set up, and the Stalkers are underneath.
Does he actually have enough to knock out all these Liberators? They're dealing some significant
He's just annihilating everything. That is it. GG. We're going to that last final game, game number 3, as it's tied up 1-1 in this series of Ryung versus Trap.
Well, Ryung is just sitting there thinking about how selfish Tasteless is, wanting this third game for his own purposes.
He's a real bastard, that Tasteless.
Yeah, and what if he loses this last game? It's on Cactus Valley, right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's Cactus Valley for sure.
So, that's a long map. We even saw Classic put up quite a fight against Innovation here.
Man. So much pressure right now on these guys. Both of them hungry to win a GSL Code S. They seem very evenly matched. We've had some bumpy games for both of them in this series. It's all going to come down to Cactus Valley. Let's see if things get a little bit prickly. Go ahead, Artosis. Oh, I've done my part. Artosis.
A little bit prickly, Tasteless.
That's right.
I thought it was Trouble Valley earlier tonight, but I guess it's back to Cactus Valley now.
That's right. Yeah, we're going to find out if Triple Town can grow cactuses.
Well, if Ryung is dying, he might be in trapple.
There you go. All right, guys, let's do this. Our last game for tonight. Rap versus Ryung in this round of 16 GSL Codex. In the upper left, in the blue, he is
Jin Air Green Wings. Trap.
Drop. Taking some deep breaths there. You just got to do what you practiced.
Coaching
why are you laughing?
You're coaching Trap right now.
No, don't laugh at me, Artosis.
TES Gaming. Ryung.
I do the same thing to Ryung. I'm like, don't forget to make more SCVs, Ryung. Depots too.
It's like, why? So that the adepts can kill them.
That's a bad attitude.
Oh, my. Tassels, who takes it?
Ryung.
Ryung
Takes it. I'm calling it right now.
spawns?
Cross spawns.
It's so long of a map.
It is.
It's so hard to get over there for Ryung.
Because he's a
I'm going
really
with
good
Trap,
player.
man.
You going with Trap? All right.
Yeah, I'm going with Trap. You kidding me? Come on.
I don't know if we can be friends right now. I don't know if you're just going to be a biased caster because you're cheering for Trap.
He's cheering so hard. I want him to win.
Yeah, man. I'm rooting for Ryung
to Trouble Town.
I'm rooting so hard for Ryung. They had to tie me down so I wouldn't stop clapping my hands, cheering for him the whole time, Artosis.
That's why we make Tases wear
They had to
mittens.
tie me up like I was that guy in Silence of the Lambs, okay? Complete with a mouth guard on.
We tape pillows to the hands of Tasteless because sometimes he claps too
I
much.
just
during
clapped
cast.
too much. I got too excited.
You guys
I'm like,
can't hear it.
whoa! Look at all those adepts.
We call them pillow hands in the studio.
That's right.
Real freak.
It's really doing bad work for my ladder game when I'm trying to play StarCraft with pillows for hands.
Luckily, you do play Protoss.
You funny.
Those Protoss jokes will never get old.
It never gets old. So,
You know, I was thinking
Yeah,
about
go ahead.
some of the hate that in general Protoss gets from Terran and Zerg, and I think that a big portion of it is you kind of have to be faster. There's like more mechanical stuff with, in general, just generally speaking. This is not a hard and fast rule, but with Zerg and Terran, especially Zerg, right? You have the injects and you have the creep spread and all that.
yeah, there's a certain mechanical component.
But yeah,
Absolutely.
that's like the dumbest reason to be angry at Protoss. You know, people are like, no, it's because you just kill you so fast. I'm like,
I think it's Protoss. It's really, there's so many different builds you can do, and there's so many opportunities for deception, and you do have to get that really balanced unit comp,
Yeah.
But each of these races requires different things. That's why this game is so beautiful.
Yeah, it very much the case. So, like, Protoss has such a different set of things that you need to do with all the different strategies and rotating them through, and there's like a lot of activated abilities that have to be used all the time. But anyways, that's fine. Just something I think about every now and then.
Ooh.
I saw a really cool quote the other day.
Yeah.
Champions don't complain; they're too busy improving.
Yeah. I like that quote.
Right?
Oh, is this actually going to get away? Oh! The mind games.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have the third Nexus coming down now. Still waiting to see what the reaction from Ryung here. This is a pretty quick third, by the way.
Yeah.
This is like a bold move, but look, it's a very big map. It's not easy to push across. And he's got an Oracle.
Yeah, the Oracle, like, no matter what you would even have to try to do something, the Oracle could stop it at this point in the game, really.
Right.
Like, the Oracle, I mean, if you have units, they have to kind of stay home to defend, or you can do something like this, right? A very small harassment move. But that third base is basically safe, especially in these spots.
Okay, these Marines not going too far out. The Oracle is going to be used functionally to pin the Terran inside of his base, and he can also continuously monitor. If he gets a tag off on those medevacs, the first two that come out, whew, it's good.
Yeah, that's a really fantastic thing that can occur. By the way, this is his only detection.
Ooh.
Wow, yeah. His only detection, so if this Widowmine actually gets a burrow off, this is a big deal.
Uh-oh, it's over there.
That's really annoying to deal with. He has to fly the Oracle home for that.
Whoa, almost sent him back too soon.
All right, does deal with the Reaper, so that's kind of nice. Yeah, the Oracle is on the way back.
He's also
tag that.
He's also pulling Phoenixes back here. So if there's continued drops, the Phoenixes can just eat that up. And nicely done. Gets a little pickup there.
Will he go into Phoenix Adept here? We don't see the Forge, but instead a Robo on the way. So that leads me to believe it might not. It's a possibility it won't be Glaives. I think it probably still will be. Okay, there it is, the Forge. Because you really do want that +1, otherwise it's like, well, a whole other shot to kill a Marine. Come on.
Yeah, no, it synergizes well with that type of unit comp. Terran with no third base just yet, staying back. Again, this map is huge.
Yeah.
So it's like pretty tricky to push all the way across, especially for the Terran. Protoss can get a warp in if they want to and hit you, but the Terran really, they got to keep pretty honest on a map like this. So when Terran's pushing, that really does mean that they're confident they can actually do a good amount of damage on the map.
And the thing is, this push distance is just so long in these spots. It's so crazy. Like, it's just Cactus Valley is such a long map in general. I'm like in shock that this map is back. And the thing is, it actually gives us a lot of interesting games to watch. So I do understand that regard. But like, look at how long this is taking his army to get across. It's one of the easier maps in these spots, in cross spawns, to get into a macro game.
Yeah.
Like, even against Innovation, Classic was like, no, I'm maxed, everything's fine, I have a bunch of splash damage. Yeah. It's just like, it's by the time you get over there, your opponent just has more than he would on a regular map.
Well, maps, when you get this big, don't just go to macro games, but they go to really crazy macro games, where it's like you can have huge armies constantly getting smashed and it gets rebuilt. It's really hard to fully just annihilate somebody with a push on this map. And sometimes it does come to exterior expansions.
Yeah.
Or people get so big on the map that then drops become really hard to manage. You can't juggle stopping all those drops.
Well, no real drops coming out other than that single Widow Mine that got 1 probe. So not a big deal quite yet. Catches this Adept, but not before he gets his prey. This is like, it's funny It's funny to watch because, right, the thing is, Ryung is not going to overcommit anything. If you have, like, a lot of times if you're being chased down with a couple medevacs, like when they have Phoenixes, right, you run back to the rest of your units. But the rest of his units would be so far, he's got to be really careful at dropping. So he's, like, kind of, like, up on the map but doesn't drop. And, you know, he's just, like, building his army here. But here comes Trap, so...
Adepts have broad. Whoa.
That would be crazy.
That would have been really bad. Oh, my God.
That would have been crazy, too.
That was super close.
And then he just kills him with the first push because all the Phoenixes die. I'm like, oh, okay, never mind.
Something got shot down there, and I don't know what it was.
I think it was a Phoenix.
Was it? Okay, he's picking up. But the Phoenixes are in pursuit right now. These medevacs aren't going to be fast forever.
Ooh, the Widow Mines all unburrowing and running into different locations, trying to make it really hard.
This is really dangerous for Phoenixes out on the map.
Yeah.
1 or 2 good Widow Mine connections. You don't have Phoenix. You don't have that 2 unit. Those 2 types of units that have the symbiosis that can win the game. Okay, he's come in here now.
Yeah, and he actually shades under double Liberator, so definitely a lot of damage going down these Adepts. But there's a Prism in the main base, or the natural, I guess. But Ryung is clearing this all up pretty well.
Yeah, but he's going to kill off that Adept army, and then I guess he comes in here and kills off this Adept army. Phoenix has come in, but it's the Phoenixes comboed with the Adepts together that's strong. If they're not there...
Yeah, it's a little bit late.
It just doesn't do anything, and Trap is just like... getting wrecked all over the map here. I know he killed 20 SCVs, but he's losing a lot of those Adepts.
He did lose a lot of Adepts, and still the economy is okay here for Ryung. It's not the best at 41 SCVs, actually, I guess, but overall, army-wise, he's just got a lot more quality to it. Luckily, a lot of the Phoenixes are still alive, but the Adept count has been just slaughtered down.
Okay. Moving out right now. Trap is getting put in a bit of a bad position. We see mostly Marauders here, but okay, never mind. The rest of the army's now meeting up. There's no way with this many Widow Mines, if Terran keeps pushing, that Protoss can actually stay and hold his ground and fight.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen.
He's got to switch his army composition. You can't stay on Adepts forever.
He basically needs to tech out of this eventually.
Yeah.
The longer he stays on this unit comp, the less opportunities he's going to have to win. He needs a more sophisticated army.
Yeah.
Phoenix Adept is really strong because you have this cool combo that can it's like a fix-all against small amounts of Terran units.
Yeah,
and it's really easy to get a good positional setup. But as the game gets longer and longer and Terran gets closer and closer to maxing, it's really hard to deal with.
No, you're completely right about that. Like, the more Widow Mines and Liberators you get, like, that combo kind of shuts it down, and then just bio underneath it cleans up everything. So this is getting a little bit harder for Trap. He is starting to make some immortals. He's getting blink, so these are some different things, but there is a noted lack of splash damage, and that is something that can make this very hard. If you take kind of a slower push against this, you know, you're kind of leapfrogging forward once you get near the Protoss army, it's going to be hard for this type of unit set to deal with it. But that's why Trap keeps meeting it in the middle of the map.
That's right. Nice fly in there with the Phoenixes, getting something done without losing anything at all. Trap is getting that unit comp that we were talking about he needs to get. It's got Stalkers, Sentries, Adepts with that Immortal. That's something that it's feasible to combat Ryung's army, but Ryung never skipped a beat. I love this. Look at this, just picking off a few reinforcements here. That's going to keep Terran a lot more staggered whenever he's sending reinforcements out. He has to send out enough that it can actually fight, for instance, a bunch of Phoenixes like that. And that's not easy.
Continues to kill off a lot of SCVs here as well. This is getting pretty tough, man. Ryung needs to get something done, and he is just stimming forward at the moment. The Phoenix is coming around the back. Okay, this is exactly what he needs. He gets a great position to start with these Liberators. Doesn't have that many Widow Mines here, but can start to push forward a little bit.
You can see he's staying just out of range of that pylon. He's beginning to get the setup. The push is actually about to start. Looks like he wants to run in here. I'm surprised he waited until that. Okay, he's just going to attack it anyways. He's trying to fish the army in towards where the Widow Mines are. These Adepts taking a peek. The Liberators are leapfrogging forward, and the pressure is mounting. Trap needs to respond, because as Ryung edges in here, it's going to be much, much tougher to have any kind of favorable positional setup here with Trap's army.
Look at that. He's having such a hard time because he's just pushing forward a little bit, and when he controls this middle area, he can start killing expansions. You have to choose where to back up into. So we're either going to see Trap dive onto him into this crazy setup.
You can't blink on top of these Widow Mines either. Okay.
You see that? He tries to bring in hallucinations to set off Widow Mines, I think.
Yeah.
But it didn't work out there.
Okay, he's blinked forward, but there are so many Marines and Marauders on the low ground. The force fields come down, but the damage is still being shot from across. Ryung is doing it. Immortals going down one by one, as there is not going to be anything left here for Protoss.
Yeah, that is right, Tasteless. Everything going down. Beautiful push there by Ryung, and he will advance in second place of this group into that round of 8.
Bringing Trap back into Trouble Town. Ryung is not stopping. He's in the top 8 StarCraft players in the world. I admire this man's hunger, this man's thirst for victory.
Yeah.
And seeing him grow and improve over the years that we have cast at GSL has been quite a treat.
Trap, he had a good night overall. He took a game off Hero, he 2-0'd Leenock, he took a game off Trap, or off of Ryung. That is the best you can do while being eliminated right there.
Yeah.
A 2-0 and 2-1-2s. A tough night for him. And he was playing a pretty good game there. He got a lot of SCDs and stuff, but he stayed on that unit composition for so long. Ryung got that push into position, was able to leapfrog it forward, and that's really tough to deal with. You don't have splash damage, there's no real way to engage.
Yeah. There's just not much you can do.
Yeah.
How far is Ryung going to go? Well, let's get this interview translated. Artos, just take it away.
He made it to the round of 8 once again. Congratulations. Thank you. That last match was so intense.
동영이랑 첫 경기 하고
How do you feel
나서
now?
오늘 게임이 잘 된다 생각했는데 제가 토스전을 준비를 많이 했는데
When I had the match against Leenock,
한다고 되는 게 아니라는 걸 느꼈고요.
you know, I felt pretty good about tonight's matches.
너무 처참하게 지는 바람에 최종전에 솔직히 성호가
Gets kind of tough later on
성호라는
though.
느낌보다 이미 앞 경기에서 투스한테 너무 세게 져서
And it was so one-sided against Hero.
좀 불안한
It broke my mentality a little bit.
스스로
He just,
김준호 선수와의 경기는
it really affected my play,
이렇게
how one-sided that match was.
마지막 조성우 선수와 뭐 비교했을 때 아니면 뭐 타 프로토스 선수들과 비교했을 때 이 김준호 선수의 차이는 뭔가요?
So compared to
뭐
Trap,
잘하기도 하겠지만 지면 좀 짜증이 많이 나고
what's the difference between Trap and Hero?
그걸 자기가 알기 때문에 더 짜증나게 많이 하는 것 같고
네.
You know, since we're so close
그리고
friends,
확실히 약점을 잘 파고드는 것 같고요.
if I lose to Hero,
제가 생각하기로는 첫 번째 경기는 저도
it really affects my mentality.
못하긴 했지만
And Hero knows that. So he uses a lot of mind games against me.
느낌을 너무 많이 받았어요.
네.
그게 왜인지는 잘 모르겠는데.
네.
As soon as I saw Phoenix's
네, 오늘
from Hero,
4조의 2세트 또
I already felt like I was gonna lose the games.
힘든 시간이었거든요.
I don't know why I
김준호
felt that way.
선수가 인터뷰에서 아마추어 때부터 이제 숙소 생활을 같이 해서 올라왔으면 좋겠다 이렇게 이야기했어요. 그때부터 연습을 꾸준히 했을 텐데 좀 김준호
Well, when
선수가
Hero had an interview with me,
또
he
어떻게
said I'm
이렇게
good friends with
강한
Ryung.
건지.
그걸
Even
아는
when-
애가
많이
게임을
파이퍼
그렇게 했나?
Before we were pro gamers, we were good friends too.
옛날부터 아는 사이라고 하는 애가 게임을
네.
그렇게 하는 줄 몰랐고
네.
좀 뭔가 약 올리듯이 하더라고요.
네.
그래서 좀 당하기도 했고 뭐.
Ryung says, yeah, we're good friends,
약한
and
건 아니고
Hero knows me well.
제가 토스전 이번에 준비하면서 오히려 말렸던 게
네.
경기에
And
안
he
났던
uses
것 같고.
that in the games.
준호는 워낙 잘하기
He
때문에
really will do anything to
제가
win.
실력이 안 나오면 못 이기는 거 당연하다고 생각해요.
I don't like being tricked by Hero.
태란전이 아니었지만 이런 다른 타조 옹족전에서도 이렇게 좋은 모습
all about the
보여주시고
performance.
8강에 진출하게
Can use it in the
됐습니다.
game.
자,
there you go.
오늘 이렇게 태란전뿐만 아니라 이렇게 다른 종족전만 하셨잖아요. 스스로의 그러면 점수 매겨볼까요?
뭐 10점 만점에 한 2점 정도.
So tonight, you pulled out
벌써
good
2점이에요?
games
네, 제가
against Protoss and Zerg.
경기력이 아예 안 나오기도 했고.
What kind of points do you want to give yourself for tonight's
하는
games?
것도 아니, 실력 면에선 졌다고 생각하는데 마지막
네.
한타를 끝까지 놓지 않았던 게 그것 때문에 그냥 이긴 것 같고.
You know, I think I started well in the beginning, but played poorly against Hero.
그렇군요. 사실
And the last
잘한 것들도
series against
굉장히
Trap, I think I played well.
순간도 많았어요. 화염차가 오늘 활약한 순간도 많았고 또 저그전에서
And I really noticed tonight that I love TBT.
이런 모습들이 있으니까 당연히 8강에 올라가신 것 같은데 자 이제 8강입니다. D조에서 이제 프로토스 1명 또 테라는
So now it's the round of 8.
까다로운 상대 혹은 만나고 싶은 상대가 있으신지.
In Group D, there's one Protoss and 3 Terrans.
뭐 성주가 제일
Is there any opponent you'd like to meet in the round of 8?
규석이나 재선이도 저보다 조금
Personally, I
위에
think
있다고
Maru is the strongest in that group.
네?
태태전인데
네, 뭐 그 선수도
And I
워낙
also
잘하기
actually
때문에. 그리고 유진이랑은
Put Bunny at maybe a little bit of an upper hand against me.
오늘 선수들은 다 김유진 선수를 기피하는 모습입니다. 자 의외로 또 테란전 나보다 위에 있는 선수들이다 이렇게 이야기를 하셨는데 정말 겸손 버전이 아닌 실제로 정말 그렇게 생각하시는 거예요?
Well, you're rating them higher than you even in TBT.
생각하지 않고요. 그냥 와서 해보면.
Do you really think they're better than you at
뭐
TBT?
테란전 자신 있다 이런 건 없었는데.
네.
He
이번 경기를
says,
생각하면서
yeah, you know, I'm
자신감이
pretty good at TBT.
그렇군요.
네.
자 결승에 가보지 못한 그 아쉬움.
But
이번 GSL
I don't really think about my TBT in a confident way,
이제 남은
even though
각오.
I play very good TBTs.
일단은 뭐 생각보다 그래도 다행히 진출해서 다행이라고 생각하고요. 뭐 8강.
So how are you gonna do in the rest of the games?
그때 좀 아쉽게 져가지고 그런 실수 되풀이하지
I'm
않고.
very relieved that I've made it into the round of 8,
김동호 선수 8강전도 기대하겠습니다.
and I made a lot of mistakes tonight.
네. 자 이렇게
But I'll
시즌
try not to do that
두
next
번째
time in the round of
진출자
eight.
김동호 선수 이야기 나눠봤는데요. 계속해서 오늘 경기 최종 정리 확인해
Alright.
보겠습니다.
Look, I'm happy he moved on.
Yeah, Ryung is always a fun player. And there's our results for the night. Hero doing a good job in first place. Close match against Trap, though. That was a nice one. Crushing Ryung, though. And moving into that round of 8, as expected.
I'll tell you something too. You know, Hero, that's a guy who's pretty scary in a best of 5. He has the widest range of builds. Him and SOS, basically.
Yeah, SOS. Oh my God, Lakukaracha himself.
That's
man.
right.
That's a range of builds if you could have one. Look at this round of 8 right now. So sick. TY versus Sue. Hero versus second from Group D. Could be SOS. Could be Maru. Who knows? Stats versus Innovation, and Ryung against someone from Group D as well, of course. Keen and Bunny are both in there also, but you know, those are not the ones people are looking at quite as closely as Maru and SOS, of course.
Sizing up to be a pretty sick round of 8.
Yeah, it really is.
We are going to be back on Saturday, starting at 1 p.m. KST.
That is quite a lineup of players there, Taste. Look at that, 3-2-1.
And with our
Says a lot about the balance, obviously. And there's going to be another Terran at least. So there's going to be at least half Terrans.
That's the nature of this GSL. I don't know. I mean, I think all these players are looking really good. I mean,
Yeah.
Sue, this is always interesting to have him here. He's been in so many finals. Obviously, innovation stats speak for themselves, but, you know, Ryung, for instance, he's looking really hot.
Yeah.
So this is it.
Yeah, this is our Saturday
SOS,
group.
Keen, Bunny, Maru, all there on Saturday. Your Saturday morning esports. If you are in North America, you can watch nighttime, your time.
Friday.
Friday.
Yes.
If you are from Europe, then you
Middle of the night.
you must do what the North Americans have had to do for a long time. Oh, we're on camera. Sometimes I like kind of.
Yeah.
I sometimes I'm like I move all around a lot when I'm casting this and like
He's just like just
I sometimes
walks
kinda
over there.
pace,
He hides behind the
Sometimes
curtain.
I'm just off camera like this.
Did somebody say esports?
Esports. Yes, if you are from Europe, you are going to have to do the North American build and tune in late night. But definitely do not miss out on our cast on Saturday. So we will be wrapping up the GSL Codex round of 16. Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Have a good morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are.
Drag us down with a roll. We don't need to throw a knife.